What is going on, guys? Chinese guy here. So, just yesterday, the developers of Battlefield Hardline, which we all know, Visceral Games, announced that Battlefield Premium will be available to be purchased and that we will find out more information coming very soon. So this sparked a video idea in my head to talk to you guys about how I think these DLCs will play out. In this video, I will be basically doing a little bit of speculation on what themes I think they might be and how and when they will be released. So, at the current rate which Visceral seems to be planning out these maps, most of them, if not all of them, I would say will probably take place around the US major cities and its surrounding area. Currently, with all of its 9 maps which will be available at launch, it only really includes Los Angeles and its surrounding area, and also Miami with the Everglades. These two cities just do not represent the United States fully. I have a feeling Visceral Games wants to keep these DLC packs more or less within the borders of the country. I really don't think we have much hope of seeing these new maps taking place in any other countries, but then again, I might be wrong since this is just my speculation based on some current facts that we have. So just take everything that I say with a huge grain of salt. Now, with the way that EA is shaping up these development teams, Visceral Games, DICE Sweden, and DICE LA, I would expect to see the usual content which we have been getting for the past 3 years or so in the DLCs. 4 maps, maybe new weapons and a gadget or two, a new exclusive vehicle specific to the DLC maps, and a brand new game mode. DLCs, in my opinion, lately just have been so cookie cutter. They aren't as creative as they used to be. I would just really like to see Visceral Games bring back some awesome innovation and expand on their ideas, which most developers these days with their DLCs aren't really doing that. The best thing I think they can do with these DLCs is have them be themed around a gang or something. I have seen tons and tons of ideas out there. DLCs revolving around the triads, the traditional old school mafia, or maybe even go back into time in the 90s of the LA street gangs. The ideas for these themes are just endless. Again, I've seen tons and tons of these ideas and I take no credit for them, but you guys basically get my point. So let's say if they did decide to do a theme specific DLC, I think there's only really 2 ways which it can play out. One is just a bit more creative than the other. They can do a time period specific DLC and go back to my example to the 90s of the LA street gangs. We can have weapons which were very popular among criminals and police forces back then, maps, game modes, and vehicles which are designed to fit the time era of the theme. Just overall do something which is similar to what Bad Company 2's Vietnam DLC did. That was, in my opinion, fun, innovative, and worth every last penny. But then again, Visceral Games can always go for the easier route and have these DLC map packs be basically revolved around a certain city, which they didn't do yet. Going back to my point of how currently all the Battlefield Hardline maps are basically around the Los Angeles and the Miami area. I think what's more likely going to happen with the DLCs is we will see them be themed around more US cities or states like New York, San Francisco, Chicago, Las Vegas, Detroit, the list goes on and on. I really think these cities could be the prime candidates of these DLC packs. New York, for example, we can see a lot of close quarters fighting, maybe even through Central Park. With San Francisco, we would definitely see something related to the Golden Gate Bridge and maybe the slopes of the city. With Chicago, we can definitely expect some water-based game modes because there's tons of rivers flowing through the city. Las Vegas, I can guarantee you we will see some casinos, maybe even some awesome close quarters maps which has some sort of heist tied to it and you will have to rob a casino. And lastly, with Detroit, we can definitely expect tons of abandoned buildings which you can probably fight through. But basically what I'm trying to say here, I think what is more likely going to happen is that we will see new DLC map packs explore new areas of the United States. Now, for the question of when I think that these DLCs will be released, more than likely what will happen is that the first maybe 2 DLCs or so are probably already finished or at least close to being done. If there are no delays or anything and it follows the footsteps of Battlefield 4's DLCs, I would expect the first DLC pack to come out around 2 months after the launch of the game. So I would say maybe June or so, we should have had at least one DLC already released. But then again, that is just my speculation and I can definitely be wrong. So how do you guys feel about the idea of premium for Battlefield Hardline? Do you like the fact that we might be seeing DLC so soon just after the launch, which I think Visceral can basically include for the launch of the game, and they are charging us and the community more for some content which they probably made months ago. But I guess that is like with any AAA developers these days, and I don't think EA and Visceral Games will skip out. Leave your comments down below. I would love to hear your ideas and your feedback about this topic. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give me a rating. Peace out, guys.